on style. Susan Sontag, Against Interpretation, on style. It would be hard to find any reputable literary critic today who would care to be caught defending as an idea the old antithesis of style versus content. On this issue, a pious consensus prevails. Everyone is quick to avow that style and content are indissoluble, that the strongly individual style of each important writer is an organic aspect of his work and never something merely decorative. In the practice of criticism, though, the old antithesis lives on, virtually unassailed. Most of the same critics who disclaim in passing the notion that style is an accessory to content maintain the duality whenever they apply themselves to particular works of literature. It is not so easy, after all, to get unstuck from a distinction that practically holds together the fabric of critical discourse and serves to perpetuate certain intellectual aims and vested interests, which themselves remain unchallenged and would be difficult to surrender without a fully articulated working replacement at hand. In fact, to talk about the style of a particular novel or poem at all as a style, without implying whether one wishes to or not, that style is merely decorative, accessory, is extremely hard. Merely by employing the notion, one is almost bound to invoke, albeit implicitly, an antithesis between style and something else. Many critics appear not to realize this. They think themselves sufficiently protected by a theoretical disclaimer on the vulgar filtering off of style from content. All the while, their judgments continue to reinforce precisely what they are, in theory, eager to deny. One way in which the old duality lives on in the practice of criticism, in concrete judgments, is the frequency with which quite admirable works of art are defended as good, although what is miscalled their style is acknowledged to be crude or careless. Another is the frequency with which a very complex style is regarded with a barely concealed ambivalence. Contemporary writers and other artists with a style that is intricate, hermetic, demanding, not to speak of beautiful, get their ration of unstinting praise. Still, it is clear that such a style is often felt to be a form of insincerity, evidence of the artist's intrusion upon his materials, which should be allowed to deliver themselves in a pure state. Whitman, in the preface to the 1855 edition of Leaves of Grass, expresses this avowal of style, which is, in most art since the last century, a standard ploy of ushering in a new stylistic vocabulary. The greatest poet has less a marked style, and is more the free channel of himself. The great and very mannered poet contends. He says to his art, I will not be meddlesome. I will not have in my writing any elegance or effect or originality to hang in the way between me and the rest like curtains. I will have nothing hang in the way, not the richest curtains. What I tell for precisely what it is. Of course, as everyone knows or claims to know, there is no neutral absolutely transparent style. Sartre has shown in his excellent review of The Stranger how the celebrated white style of Camus' novel, impersonal, expository, lucid, flat, is itself the vehicle of Moussal's image of the world as made of absurd, fortuitous moments. What Roland Barthes calls the zero degree of writing is precisely by being anti-metaphorical and dehumanized, as selective and artificial as any traditional style of writing. Nevertheless, the notion of a styleless, transparent art is one of the most tenacious fantasies of modern culture. Artists and critics pretend to believe that it is no more possible to get the artifice out of art than it is for a person to lose his personality. Yet the aspiration lingers. A permanent descent from modern art, with its dizzying velocity of style changes.